everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we're going to learn how to create or update Encharge person from Zoom meeting registrant. So I am a personality development coach, and with the help of Zoom, I manage all my webinars and one-on-one sessions with my clients. I am recently hosting a webinar. So here what I want is that as soon as a new registration is going to be done by the registrant for the webinar that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom, I want to add that registrant as a person in my Encharge account. As with the help of Encharge, I am managing all the email marketing and clients data. Now doing this manually is very time consuming. So what I did was I simply automated this entire process with the help of Pabbly Connect, which is an amazing automation and integration software. And here in this automation, I'm going to build a connection between Zoom and Encharge with the help of it. So if you want to learn about this amazing automation step by step and you want to see how this automation works, then let me take you all to my screen. Welcome to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to create or update Encharge person from Zoom meeting registrant. So as a personality development coach, this is the webinar that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom, that is Personal Growth Strategies webinar. And this is the form with the help of which the registrations are going to be created for this webinar, okay? So now what is going to happen that as soon as a new registration is going to be created, you can see for the first name, I've selected the name as test, last name is person, email is testperson@pabblyconnect.com. When this form submission is going to be done in this similar manner, what is going to happen automatically if I'm going to refresh this page from here, you can see over here a new person is going to be added in my Encharge account. This was my Encharge account and you can see that same person in the name of test person with the email as testperson@pabblyconnect.com has been created over here in my Encharge account. Okay. And how did it happen automatically? This is with the help of the automation that I've created between Zoom and Encharge with the help of Pabbly Connect. Okay. So as a personality development coach, I am hosting webinars and one-on-one sessions with my clients and customers with the help of Zoom. And I use Encharge to manage my email marketing and nurture clients' relationships with personalized and timely communications. The challenge that I face is manually updating Encharge with the details every time a new webinar registrant is created. So with the help of this amazing automation, every time someone registers themselves for the webinar that I'm hosting on my Zoom account, automatically they're going to be added as a person in my Encharge account. For that, I've created this automation with Pabbly Connect. So on the screen, you can see the website of Pabbly Connect, that is pabbly.com/connect. After browsing this website, we need to sign into our Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. So as I'm an existing user, I'm going to sign into my Pabbly Connect account. After signing in, you can see the All Pabbly Apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications of Pabbly, from which we are going to select Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. In order to start an automation process with Pabbly Connect, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this top right corner button right over here that says Create Workflow. A dialog box is then going to appear in front of you, which is asking for the workflow name and for us to select a folder. So for the name of my workflow over here, I'm going to give it as Create or Update Encharge Person from Zoom Meeting Registrant. Okay, this is the name that I want to give to my workflow. Over here, next, it is asking for us to select a folder. So on the left side of my screen, you can see I've created multiple folders in my Pabbly Connect account, from which I'm going to select a specific folder in which I want to save this workflow in. For that, click on this drop down. These are the folders from which I'm going to select Zoom Automations as the folder I want to save this workflow in. After giving the name to the workflow and selecting the folder, I'm going to click on this Create button in order to create a workflow. A workflow is created over here in the name of Create or Update Encharge Person from Zoom Meeting Registrant, and there are two windows in front of you. One over here says trigger, other says action. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two concepts. Over here, trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means action, what is it? It's a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up our trigger step first. Here, what my objective is that as soon as a new registration is going to be created in my webinar that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom, automatically Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. So for that, I'm going to select my trigger application over here as Zoom, okay? I'm going to select my trigger application as Zoom. And for the trigger event, I'm going to select as Configure Webhook. With the help of this event, we are going to create a connection between Zoom and Pabbly Connect, okay? And then I'm going to click on this Connect button. As soon as I'm going to do that, this window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on Add New Connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have, okay? After that, you can see it is asking for the token. With the help of this token, we are going to create a connection between Zoom and Pabbly Connect. And how we're going to have this secret token? For that, we have to follow the steps given here below in the help desk. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to step by step follow the instructions. Firstly, it is asking for us to log into our Zoom account. Okay. So we are going to log into our Zoom account. And now what we're going to do is we're going to connect this account to Pabbly Connect, so that whenever a new registration is going to be created, automatically Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response of that. Okay. So now for creating the connection, from the left side of the panel, we are going to scroll down. Under admin, if I'm going to scroll down, it says advanced. Click on it. Under advanced, an option is provided, that is app marketplace. Select this option from here. As you're going to select this option over here, you will be landed towards the app marketplace. In order to have this secret token, we have to create an application in our Zoom account. Okay. Now, in order to do that, we're going to create a new application right here. For that, on the top right corner, it says develop, under which it says build app. We are going to click on this button to build our own application. After that, it says what kind of app are you creating? I want to create the general app. So I'm going to select this from here, and then I'm going to click on this create button. As I'm going to do that, we'll be landed towards this page right over here. Okay. Over here, I'm going to give a name to my application. So for the application name over here, I'm going to give it as new registration. This is the name that I want to give to my application. After giving the name to the application, if I'm going to scroll down, you can see over here, it is asking for the OAuth information, under which it is asking for the OAuth redirect URL. We have to give this URL right over here. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my workflow again. Over here in the instructions, there is a hyperlink given to us, that is learn more. Click on this hyperlink. As I'm going to do that, you will be landed towards Pabbly help page. If I'm going to scroll down, these are the steps that you have to follow in order to connect Zoom to Pabbly Connect. This is the whole guide right over here. Okay. And in this guide, over here, the OAuth redirect URL is given over here in the help desk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply copy this URL from here. Okay. After copying the URL, I'm going to go back to my app marketplace. And in this field, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that we have provided right over here. Okay. As we have provided the URL, the allow list has also been provided right over here. Okay. Now after that, I'm going to click on this continue button. As I'm going to do that, you can see the secret token is provided to us, and this is the token that Pabbly Connect is asking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this token from here and paste this token right over here. Okay. After pasting, I'm going to click on this save button. As I've done that, you can see over here, the webhook URL is provided to us. With the help of this webhook URL, we're going to create a connection between Zoom and Pabbly Connect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply copy this URL from here. Okay. As I've copied the URL, I'm going to go back to my app that I'm creating. So after the secret token, if you're going to scroll down, it says general features, under which it says event subscription. Toggle this button on right over here. We are going to add a new event. Click on this button. The event type method is going to be webhook. Select this method. For the subscription name over here, I'm going to give the subscription name over here as Encharge. This is a subscription name that I have. It is asking for the event that we want. For the event, I want that as soon as a new registration is going to be created in my meeting that I'm hosting, then Pabbly Connect should capture the response of that. So for that, I'm going to click on this add events button. And under add events, all these events are provided that you can use according to your requirement. But under this meeting section, if I'm going to scroll down, there is an event known as meeting registration has been created. I want this event to be there because I want that as soon as a new registration is going to be created in my Zoom account, with the help of this event, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. Okay. Then I'm going to click on this done button. You can see one event is added here. Okay. And for the endpoint URL, paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. Okay. And then click on this save button. As I'm going to do that, you can see a new subscription has been added over here in this application. As now the event is successfully added, I'm going to click on this continue button. Once more, I'm going to click on it again and again. Okay. After that, over here, we will land it towards this page. Now I want to add this application. I want to install this application in my Zoom account. In order to do that, for that, I'm going to click on this add app now. After that, it is asking for the authorization permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this safe process, my data is going to be perfectly safe. So I'm going to click on this allow button right over here. As I've done that, you can see right away the application has now been successfully added to my Zoom account. As now the application is added successfully, I'm going to go back to my workflow, and over here it is saying save and send test request. I'm going to click on this button right over here to capture the response of the new registrations being done in my meeting that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom. So I'm going to click on the save and send test request button. As I'm going to do that, it is saying waiting for response. So now to check whether Zoom is successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply do a new registration in the meeting that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom. That is going to be a test registration. registration, and then I'm going to check whether Pabbly Connect captures the response of the test registration being done or not. Okay. For that, I'm going to open the meeting that I've created. So this is the meeting, the webinar that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom. Now to create a registration, if I'm going to scroll down, this is the registration link provided. So I'm going to copy this link from here and open this link in a new tab right here. Okay. As I've done that, this is the registration form with the help of which the new registrations are going to be created. If I'm going to scroll down, so this is the registration form. We're going to fill in the details. For the first name over here, I'm going to write it as demo. For the last name over here, I'm going to write it as test. For the email over here, I'm going to write it as demo@pabblytudes.com. Okay. After filling the details to do the test registration, I'm going to click on the register button. You can see it says you're successfully registered. This means the registration has now been done. As now the registration is done, I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down. And yes, you can see right over here, Pabbly Connect has captured the response of the new registration being done. For the topic over here, that is the title of the webinar, comes as Personal Growth Strategies Webinar. You can see right over here, this is the webinar that I've created a registration and you can see right here. Okay. If I'm going to further tally the response, the time zone comes as Asia Kolkata, status comes as approved right over here. First name of the registrant comes as demo, last name as test, email as demo@pabblytudes.com. This is the ID of the registrant. You can see right here. We have received all the other details as well right over here. Okay. As now the response of the new registration being done in our Zoom meeting has been successfully captured. This means that Zoom has now been connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. Now, whenever a new registration is going to be created in my meeting that I'm hosting with the help of Zoom, automatically in the similar manner, Pabbly Connect is going to capture the response. Okay. Now here what I want to create a person in my Encharge account after every new registration is created in my Zoom account. So now what we're going to do is, in order to do that, we're going to set up our action step. For the action application over here, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to select it as Encharge. As in my Encharge, I want to add my registrant as a person. So I'm going to select my action application as Encharge. And for the action event, I'm going to select it as add or update person. Okay. And then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you on which click on add new connection, or else you can select the existing connection that you have and then click on connect with Encharge. As we have done that, a window is then going to appear in front of you which is asking for the permission. So I'm going to click on this allow button. As this save process in my data is perfectly saved with Pabbly Connect, so I'm going to click on this allow button right here. As I've done that, you can see we successfully authorized Encharge to Pabbly Connect. After authorizing, it is asking for the email, first name, last name, and all the other details of the person that we want to create in our Encharge account. So for the data of the person, what we are going to do is we are going to map the data. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step. So we're going to insert the data from the previous step of this workflow. How mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to click on this field, you can see this was the previous step, that is Zoom triggers configure webhook. This was the previous step right here. And as I'm going to click on it, this was the same response that was captured in our previous step. Okay. It is asking for the email of our person that we want to create. I want to create this registrant who have done the registration using Zoom as a person in my Encharge account. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply select the data of the email from my previous response. So as I've selected the data from my previous response of the registrant's email, the data is mapped. And as I map the data has now become dynamic. That means whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. Okay. After that, it is asking for the first name. So for the first name over here, I'm going to search for the first name. This is the first name in our previous response. So I'm going to map the data. Similarly, for the last name, I'm going to map the data of the last name right here. I'm going to map it. After that, it is asking for all these other details, which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part. It is asking for the lead source. So for the lead source over here, I'm going to write it as Zoom meeting registrant. This is the lead source that I have because this person that we are going to create in our Encharge account is the Zoom meeting registrant. That is why I've given the lead source this name. Okay. After that, it is asking for all these fields which I do not require. So I'm going to skip the part and then simply I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. As I've done that, you can see right over here, you received a response, which is a positive response. So now I'm going to open my Encharge account and check whether a new registrant in the name of demo test has been created or not. For that, I'm going to open my Encharge account. This is my Encharge account person's page. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I have refreshed the page, you can see right over here, a new person has been created in my Encharge account with the name as demo test, with the email as demo@pabblytudes.com with the other details. As the registrant has been created successfully in my Encharge account, this means that we successfully created an automation between Zoom and Encharge with the help of Pabbly Connect. But now for all of you guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another test. That means I'm going to create a new registration in my Zoom account in the meeting that I'm hosting, and then I'm going to check whether a new person has been added to my Encharge account or not. Okay, for that what I'm going to do is I'm going to create new registration. For that I'm going to copy this link from here and open it in a new tab right over here. Okay, as I've done that, this is the form that I've created. Now I'm going to fill in all the details right here. So these are the details. First name as test, last name as person, email as testperson67@pabblytudes.com. I'm going to click on the register button in order to do the registration. You can see it says you have successfully registered. Now I'm going to open my Encharge account and check whether a new person has been added to my Encharge account or not. For that I'm going to open my account. This is the people's page. I'm going to refresh this page from here. As I refresh the page, you can see right over here, a new person has been created in my Encharge account. It says test person, email as testperson67@pabblytudes.com with all the other details. As we successfully created the person, this means that we successfully created an automation between Zoom and Encharge with the help of Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, for my trigger, I have taken my trigger application as Zoom, and for my action application, I've taken it as Encharge. So that whenever a new registration is going to be created in my Zoom account, automatically that registrant is going to be added as a person in my Encharge account. And for that, I've built this automation between these two applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple other applications with the help of Pabbly Connect. If you have any questions, you can contact us on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can check the queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, then you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel, hit on the like button, comment on if you have any questions or doubts, and please share this video.